So, the first 4 episodes of Hazbin Hotel came out, and I wanted to make a quick review of it to help get all my thoughts down. I am planning on doing a full, extensive review once the full season is done, but I wanted to throw this video out there to see what you all were thinking about it. So far, it's pretty good. There was a lot of exaggerated hype and hate towards the show, so I'm happy to say it's actually not a bad watch, but I can tell it won't be for everybody. The first 3 episodes are really different from the 4th episode, being rather lighthearted and goofy, when the 4th episode takes a suddenly serious turn and a more dramatic path for the characters. The first episode was definitely the weakest of the 4 so far, mostly because it's just kind of boring. The characters are kind of just standing around talking at each other. It's a lot of heavy-handed exposition, and it was kind of drab to sit through. I kept waiting for something to actually happen, but it never did. Charlie sets up the idea of her hotel, and then she just repeats the same points for it for the rest of the episode until the credits roll. Also, I thought Adam was painfully unfunny, trying way too hard and just not getting it. And I know, like, being annoying was the gimmick with his character, but it wasn't funny annoying, and none of his jokes landed, and they were trying so hard. But I liked Loot, though, so I'm excited to see more of them. This episode did have 2 of the better songs so far, so at least that was fun. By the way, each episode has 2 songs in it, which I praise the team for their ambition, but I think maybe not every episode needed 2 whole songs. Maybe 1 stronger song for some of them would have been enough. Episodes 2 and 3 have kind of the same up and downs for me with each other, where we spend huge amounts of time on characters who aren't our has-been heroes. In episode 2, we spend more than half of the episode establishing the V's. Vox Machina, Valentine's Day, and Venti iced coffee, or whatever. It seems like these 3 are going to be our actual villains for the series, while the angels and their threats to kill sinners is like the overarching plot. Which is great, because Vox is already shown to have beef with Alistair, and Valentino has problems with Angel, and in episode 3, Velvet sets up the plotline about finding out someone in hell managed to kill an angel. So I understand it's important to establish your villains of a story, but it feels like we still hadn't have even gotten time with our actual main characters yet by this point. Vox was a much deeper established character, while our main cast still felt like little more than stereotypes. Maybe if we had jumped back and forth from the villains to the heroes doing something, rather than dedicating a solid chunk of screen time on just the villains. Episode 3 is arguably worse though, because we get introduced to even more characters. These overlords, and like, one of them is the one who killed the angel to protect her daughters. There's just way too many characters already. 3 episodes in, and I'm already overwhelmed. The main hero squad already has 6 characters, 7 once Serpentius joins in episode 2. Yet we're still sitting back and dedicating huge chunks of time to establish Green Guy and the killer mom lady. We also get one of the worst songs in this episode too. The visuals with Vaggie are pretty good, at least she's running around, she's doing cool things, but when we cut to Carmilla, it's just super boring. It's just a close-up on her face. We also skipped the development between the main characters because of the song. Vaggie throws them all into a war zone so they can learn to trust each other, and then they talk about all the crazy stuff they did and how they've helped each other out, but that was all off screen. Instead, we watched a character we just got introduced to singing about how she wants to protect her daughters, and I'm like, are the sinners redeeming themselves not the main focus? Episode 4 was the best so far because it was solely about our main cast. No random other characters are stealing screen time. It was just about Angel Dust, his relationship with Valentino, his self-destructive behavior, and Charlie and Husk trying to help him with it. It's very strong. It's emotional, and it hurts seeing how tightly put together this episode is compared to the all-over-the-place writing from the prior episodes. Also, episode 4 has the best song, Loser Baby. You should listen to it. Episode 4 makes me much more hopeful for the rest of the series, but I'd be lying if I didn't say the 3 episodes getting here weren't a mess. It seems, much like some of the characters' designs, the show lacks focus, or perhaps is trying to bite off more than it can chew in this first season. I'm intrigued so far, but also a tad confused. The show seems to be trying to hop between lighthearted, goofy comedy and very realistic drama, and while it's not impossible to play jump rope with these two ideas, it certainly isn't easy to do well. I'm also uncertain about the progression of the plot proper. The episodes felt very Wheel of Morality-esque, a lesson of the day a la My Little Pony, only much more heavy-handed. Charlie's attempts at redeeming sinners so far include learn to apologize and say no to drug dealers, and it feels very empty. One, I don't think this makes much sense in-universe, and more importantly, two, it's not very fun to watch. Having Charlie stand around and act like this is a children's special isn't entertaining, especially compared to everything else that's happening. Carmilla killed an angel, and that seems to be like the actual plot. Alistair's dabbling with learning that information, and the three villains are talking about going to war with the angels, so it's weird that Carmilla is the one who killed the angel. In episode 1, when we first heard that an angel had been killed, I assumed it was one of our Hazbin heroes, but no, it's this random other lady we meet in episode 3, and it makes the Hazbin Hotel's idea about redeeming sinners feel tangential to the plot. You know, the angels and the sinners might be going to war because an angel was killed. Oh, and also over here, there's a hotel. I don't know, I wish it would have been Alistair or Charlie or Vaggie or one of our main characters who had a hand in killing the angel, because so far it feels like there's a whole other plot happening that's the real focus, and also Charlie's over here teaching people how to apologize. You know, her actions for the hotel feel trivial, like she's not taking this seriously, or is woefully ignorant towards what her real goals need to be. Like I said, I'm intrigued, and I hope it stays as consistently good as episode 4 was, but we'll just have to wait and see. Shout out to my $10 patrons, you're all amazing. Nako, Andrew, Valhalla Knight, Chamomile, Classy Critic, Noah Perkins, Sunny Shy, Jake, Amber, Hype Man, Zero to Hero, Scaring Crows, Messiah Complex, Trash, Wild Pilot, Jacob, Ben's Sketchbook, Omega Fighter, Trash, Josh, Gino, Twisty, Juan, Duncan, and Alpha 99. If you watched Hazbin Hotel, what did you think of the first 4 episodes? If not, are you intrigued to watch it after seeing this review? Why or why not? I'd love to see what you all are thinking about this in the comments below.